not have a clue what you're talking about. Come on, jazz hands.
Jazz hands, is dangerous. This is dangerous.
Babyface P is actually playing some online game.
Playing Apex Legends.
Time. What?
Everybody's out there. I'm playing Apex Legends. There's some people I'm sure that'll know.
Yeah.
I'm the last. We've got 4 squads and 10 people left, so I'm not giving up until this is over.
So I hope you guys have your big girl Apex Legend panties on. Apparently, but we are live. We are live. This is episode, I think it's 231 of the 331, excuse me, of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, coming to you live from the Strange Media Studios here in Florida. I'm Hank Strange. That's Babyface P right there, intensely playing the game. Someone go into this apex of legendaries and smoke Babyface P out so we can get his full attention here. We also have Greg Pruett of the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance. He should be coming on here pretty soon. He's getting set up and everything behind the scenes. And the title of the show tonight is "Did Benchmade Hire the Jussie Smollett Nigerians to destroy their own credibility along with those guns?" In Oregon, or how do you say it? Oregon?
Oregon.
Yeah,
Oregon. I don't know.
So we're gonna get into that and a whole bunch of other crazy stuff. It's kind of like a busy news day today, Patrick.
It was.
Yeah. So lots of stuff going on today. We're gonna get into all of that, talk about it all, talk with you guys. I'm gonna remind everyone right now: smash the thumbs ups. Let's do it. Come on. Hit those thumbs ups. Also, if you're not subscribed to the Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded, that's where you can look at this live for anyone who's listening on audio. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now, then ring the bell so you get notified when we go live. That's how you can come hang out with us and be part of all the crazy festivities that go on here every day. I'll probably try to go through here real quick and shout out people. I want to remind everyone tomorrow is a day off for us, meaning me. You guys probably not off, but day off tomorrow. I've got a bunch of things I need to do. Plus, I have to rest up because I got to join Walter at the military vehicle show tomorrow. So we won't be here, but we'll have things that you guys can watch. You can share stuff and all of that. Also, I just initiated, Patrick, the Who Moved My Freedom, or WMMF podcast.
Oh yeah. So
on Insta, let me see if anyone can see it.
Send all your dick pics there. Tag Hank in them.
That's fine. Whatever. Specifically for that. I have like 10 followers so far. By the way, anyone who follows me on there, I will follow you back. Anyone. If you do it now, I will be checking while we're on the show. Follow me on its WMMF_podcast. And you follow us there on the Instagram, we'll follow you back. We're doing all of that just so that we have trying to separate, put everything in its own little boxes, get organized around it. Oh, Greg's coming in.
Hank and organized.
Yeah. Okay, so with me, you have to be on the curve of organization. I created it. It's there, Patrick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is really good as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, really good. So Greg's coming in. I think he's probably getting set up. I don't know if he can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to share your link on all my stuff real quick.
Awesome. And so go there, follow me. Let me go through this real quick while Greg's getting set up. And Babyface P is trying to finish his mission.
I'm good. I'm done. We got second place. We lost right at the end.
Oh, okay. Do you guys get money?
Get prestige of being second out of the 60 people.
Oh, okay. And what's your squad name or whatever on there? Just so everyone.
I was just playing with randos. It's just a pub group. So
randos.
Yeah, just random people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all this gamer talk. Just playing with some. You know what? You know what's funny? I have heard my kids say that.
Have you really?
Yeah. That's what I think about it. And I was like, what the hell?
Just playing with randos.
Because that sounds weird to a dad brain.
Really?
Yeah, kids go, yeah, Dad, we're just playing with some randos. Don't play with randos. Yeah. Okay. So SoCal Gunner, he was number 1 in the chat. Chris Williams is out there. Jade Grew, who followed me on IG. Thank you. Chris Williams, Vanessa Kitty, The Archangel, David Serpa. Also, let's see who else we got. Armament and Axes, Ray Bozzolo, Clyde Woods, also out there. Boss Hog, Special K, The Archangel, Greg 98K, Paul K. Lots of Ks. I'm not sure what's happening, but lots of Ks out there. David Serpa also out there. Let's see. Rob Avis, Mr. Moon, FTW. FTW. Mr. Moon. I don't know. That's probably a gamer thing also.
Anxious behind the times.
Yeah, for all I know. I don't know what it means. Let's see who else we got. Rich. We need to do. We're supposed to get set up and do play games so everyone can kick my ass. Let's see. Richard Rasnick, Robert McRae, Greg 98K said he insta added. Thank you. Steve Day. He wants to know how to change his profile on the YouTube thingy. So someone's got to help him out on that. Me Too on Tube is out there. Mr. FNH, Fearless Orca Tactical is out there. Shout out to Fearless Orca Tactical. Randy Peacock, Richard Hughes out there, RTS guy. Let's see, who else do we have? Moobutt. Moobutt is out. Shout out to Moobutt.
Brian Wyatt. He's not excited either.
Brian Wyatt, what?
About Benchmade. I know we're going to get into it. I'm jumping ahead.
We're going to get to Benchmade. We're going to get to all that stuff. Greg's going to have some important, we're going to have discussions about the Second Amendment. We'll talk about Jussie Smollett. I don't know if Greg is even aware of who the hell that is. Greg, do you have any?
I know the story well enough.
Okay, there you go. Who does it in America?
At this point, seriously.
Yeah, at this point. So
did you? Okay, we're jumping ahead. I can't get started on it yet.
Let me just shout out these people: Kathleen Music Lover, Canine Coach, Care Bear on the Holiday Road, MW Tactical also out there. I think I said Flopping Garbage, but shout out to Flopping Garbage, Turbo 99 Miata, Treadhead 44, Weston Probst, DC2 Mega Boost, Hillbilly Nitro, Mercenary BDU. I don't know what that. Emmanuel Brooks, Tom Naff, Big Cliff, Joe Guzman, Old Red, White, and Blue, Tim Not Tim, Len Holt. Shout out to all those people. If I missed someone, my apologies. We'll try to get to you later. Greg, what's up, man? Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. It's my goodness, this is a busy time of the year.
Yeah, I could imagine, man. Lots of craziness going on out there. Have you ever been on the show with Babyface P?
I don't think we know each other.
Patrick?
No, okay. I haven't been on with him yet. I've watched you and Babyface on here, but not with him.
Oh, okay.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So he's our expert. Patrick is our expert of all things millennial.
Okay.
That's what you call it. Yeah,
we need a lot more of those. That's for dang sure.
He's an infiltrator. He's an infiltrator, I guess, of the millennials out there. So Eric Hammond says, anyone want to get rid of your Benchmade? I'll certainly dispose of them properly.
Especially if it's an infidel. We'll take care of it.
Just out there. Rodney Brady says, good evening, all. Okay, Greg, you're the guest tonight. You're from Idaho. Am I getting it right? Idaho Second Amendment Alliance, right?
Yeah. So I run the Second Amendment Activist, which is kind of my nationwide deal that I do. And then I also am the president of the Idaho Second Amendment Alliance, which is our 501 nonprofit here in the state of Idaho that I run. So
okay, very good. More people should be doing what you're doing out there. Hopefully we're helping you out by helping to get the word out there. But you're actually fighting these things in court, etc., right? You've been on a few times already now.
We do. Yeah, man. We're down at the Capitol beating up on politicians every day, making their lives miserable when they're not doing what they promised to do. And so it's like I said, Idaho, we go from January to the end of March for our session. And so it's 3 months of just absolute hell at the Capitol and everything else that we got going on. So it's fun.
Okay,
but,
cool.
Yeah, we need a lot more people being actual activists rather than sitting on their butts doing nothing. So.
Absolutely. And maybe we'll get you to give some pointers to the folks out there what to do to actually do something about this. Just in case, Greg, if you need any help, we know some Nigerians that will work for cheap to help you out, man.
Orchestrate an attack on myself and get some fundraising going.
No, they'll do anything. They'll do because if you look at the Jussie, because actually Jussie Smollett was like, he turned himself in. He was charged. I think he posted bond and all that kind of stuff already, and they released him. I was just looking at some video of him being released.
Oh, the shame of being wealthy enough to post bond for that.
Yeah, it was like
110,000.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, yep. So there was a press conference in which they said that he did it. he orchestrated it because the whole thing, including the letters,
because he didn't make enough money.
Yeah, he didn't make enough money. He was making like $65,000 an episode.
That's not enough for him, and he wanted to show that it wasn't enough.
Yeah, I don't. Unless folks out there actually, because people do help us all the time, but most times I don't make 65 cents an episode.
Remember, he goes hard. He goes hard.
He goes real hard. Real hard.
So what did now I know about the attack, and I know it was staged and all that kind of stuff. I don't know who the guy is, as far as I know he's a celebrity. He must play in some sort of movie.
He's an HBO actor and singer. Okay. So he was on
the HBO. The show is on.
I thought Empire was on HBO. Maybe
I have no idea what. Yeah,
it was on a show called
like on the WB or something. I don't know. He's on a show called Empire, which, to my understanding, it's about a family. It's like a Motown kind of family.
Oh, sorry, no, it's on Fox.
It's on Fox.
Show. Oh, I thought it was an HBO show.
Yeah, Fox. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, they're kind of like a family that's in the music business. He is
himself.
He is a gay male. Yeah, he is a gay male. He does play a gay male that's the son of the matriarch, I guess.
Okay.
Of the family, and he makes $65,000 an episode.
65.
Apparently,
can you imagine?
And
what's the show have? How many episodes is in a season? 12 or 24?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Well,
an
actually,
average show, probably 22. I would say an average show depends
Empire, on what it is. IMDb, and we'll see how many.
It's usually most TV series are 22 to 24 episodes, but even at the shortest series of a TV series is like 10 in a year, 12 in a year. But
so far, he's been in 75 episodes. So let's do the math: 65 times 75 equals $4.875 million. He's not making enough money, guys. Yeah, I can understand why he did this.
That's not enough. And remember, they also put out albums. They also put out albums on this, like real life. On the show, they put out albums, but in real life,
then they release in real life. You can buy it.
Yeah. So he apparently wasn't making enough money, wasn't getting enough attention. He faked the letters. Then, and I think he got these Nigerian brothers, which I heard they don't want to be called
instantly.
Yeah, I heard they don't want to be called Nigerian because supposedly they're
American
here. Yeah.
They're born in Chicago. They're American.
Yeah. We should respect that, but I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I don't understand how he wasn't wealthy enough to hire white people to do it.
Yeah, you think he would find
doesn't make any sense.
The part of Chicago supposedly that he lives in is like a black, somewhat gay part of Chicago. Is that what I've heard? Is that correct? Does anybody know Chicago?
I think it's probably it's a gay town, but I mean Chicago has. I think I was looking it up because the chief of police or superintendent or whatever was talking about. He had a couple of things to say. I think he's kind of a social justice warrior, the police guy there. But he was saying like, he's aware of the racial divide in Chicago, but Chicago itself as a city has almost 35% black people.
Yeah, that's I think more than nationwide. Average is 13%, 14%.
Yeah, somewhere under 20, right?
I think so. Yeah. So that's way higher than national average.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of things going on here. So anyway, he hired these guys to send in this letter. Then he hired them to stage this thing and like where he thought there was a street camera of them beating him up. So these two like real super husky, basically Mandingo Nigerian dudes, real buff. I don't know any other way. If someone thinks I'm hating on Nigerians, I live there in Nigeria. Okay, so I really enjoyed myself.
And he personally knew them.
Yeah, he knew them. Yeah,
one was on the show, one was his trainer. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So he knew these guys. They worked out in the same gym and all that. He hired them. There's video of these guys buying gloves and masks and red hats because they couldn't get MAGA hats apparently in Chicago because it's not MAGA country.
This is MAGA country.
If we have to recap this for you, Greg, it's going to be like a soap opera.
It's you couldn't make it up, even though he did.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And the crazy thing is, he paid these brothers. I can't believe this from Nigerian people. I'm actually ashamed. $3,500.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really ashamed of this. They should have gotten more. I would have been like, dude, no.
He picked them up in his personal limo and talked to them in the limo and then wrote them a check for $3,500, I would have been like,
check.
hell no. I want way more than that.
A check though. Check.
Yeah.
Don't ever if you're
gonna do something wrong, don't write a check. Bitcoin, just get their Bitcoin address and send it anonymously.
Don't ever go hard with a check. That's not like.
And he's still today denying all of it, saying no, it's all made up.
So Greg, you probably don't know why we're overemphasizing the hard. But he was on ABC with Robin Roberts, her investigative report, which she basically didn't ask him a damn thing. But she asked him, like, why? Why would someone do this? Why would someone jump you and beat you up and throw bleach on you and put a rope around your neck? And he said, because I go hard against 45. I go real hard.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't get that part then.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I can't. I know this is so sick and juvenile, but I can't get that out of my.
Do they still have that show? The what do they call it? The World's Dumbest Criminals.
Oh, I mean, he would be
got to be up there now.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
He's got to be the worst staged attack I've ever seen.
He's still denying all of this.
Yeah.
He is denying this.
As the evidence mounts, he's no. Of course it didn't happen.
He claims now to be the gay Tupac.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he says he's the gay Tupac. Let me tell you something. Tupac will smack the living daylights out of you for that, Jesse. Don't even try to get up on Tupac's level. He will come back from Mexico and get you. Yeah. I don't know, man. This is so crazy. It's not even anywhere close to being over at this point. So the Nigerian brothers got arrested. I think they were supposed he got them to like do this and then they left the country. I don't know if he paid for them.
Yeah, they tried to like lay low, I think, for a couple days or something like that.
They bought round trip tickets, so the cops tracked them to the airport and were like, "Oh, they've got round trip tickets. When are they coming back? Oh, they come back on this date. Okay, that's nice. We'll be here." So they came back, and when they came back, he was supposed to pay them another $500. So, I mean, they obviously were not looking at the news. Because if I was in Nigeria and I was watching this,
better send your check out this way because we ain't coming back.
Yeah, no, but every minute that thing is blowing up, I'm like, dude, come on. This is now going to be $3,500 an hour.
Yeah.
So, but they came back, they got arrested, and I think they can only hold them for 48 hours. So in the 47th hour, they decided to go, okay, we did this. He paid us to do this. So
they flipped on him instantly.
And I don't think, honestly, watching this whole thing unfold, I just don't see that the media and even really a lot of the American people are going to change this attitude of as soon as something happens, we immediately have to go on the attack and start attacking somebody. What was the name of that school with the kids at the Capitol that they were trying to lynch?
That
was just a few weeks ago. And just a few weeks ago. And yet here's this case. This guy makes a claim and we immediately jump on, oh, of course, the white people went out and tried to attack the gay black guy. It's like, well, wait a minute here. Where's all the evidence? Let's talk about this before we start trying to.
That's the travesty. That's the travesty in all of this, I think.
It's because our country is not as bad as they want it to be. The left, for some reason, wants this country to be a total hellhole. Totally believes that it is, but Americans really aren't that bad.
We have spots of badness everywhere in the world does.
Yeah, but it's not like this. So and it overshadowed. If you look at it over the weekend, which didn't get covered, 2 people got killed, 9 got shot in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
nobody said a damn thing about it. This is overshadowing all of it. It's like, and those are real. Those are like real crimes. But
certain parts of Chicago are very violent. This is why I didn't like the police superintendent. He called it gun violence because he said that all these reporters and everything are, they don't turn out like this in force. Like this press conference that he had doesn't happen when there's gun violence in Chicago. Well, here's what I would say to him, dude. There's no gun violence. There is gang violence in Chicago. Okay, 100%. It's not a problem with the guns. Those people committing all these horrible crimes in Chicago are not buying their guns legally.
Yeah.
They're not going through background checks and all that kind of stuff. So that's a horrible part of this to make people believe it. I think the media should pay more attention to that. They probably don't want them to because they want to push this narrative of it being gun violence and they need to crack down on it. Chicago's crackdown on guns has been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, and that's not going to solve the problem here. There's a gang violence problem. If anything, allow the hardworking, law-abiding people in Chicago to defend themselves against that. You might end a lot of that gang violence. So,
yeah, it's the gun grabbers, they want an easy fix to all of this problem, and we have a cultural problem that cannot be fixed with another law, another regulation. It's got to be fixed culturally, where we're taking care of each other, putting our faith back into God and all that stuff that we have tossed out the window thanks to the SJWs all across this country. So
yeah, and the crazy thing here, like for example, I think Fox was interviewing, is it Harvey Levin from TMZ?
I don't know.
I think that's his name. They were interviewing him, but they didn't go hard. They didn't go hard against Harvey Levin. I wish I was in that interview, because Harvey Levin, TMZ was one of the first places to put this out. Now, I don't think TMZ is like a legit news thing, but whatever.
They're like Gawker. They're not news.
Yeah, but they consider themselves legit news. But if you look at their news, they were pushing the news of what happened to this guy as Trump's fault. They would insert Trump into. You can go back and look. Go back and look. There's video of this. They inserted.
Ridiculous.
That's what they did. They took this for fact. They inserted Trump into it. TMZ was asking celebrities, Hollywood celebrities on the streets, what should happen to the guys who did this? Oh, they should string them up. They should do all these guys who are super liberal and believe no one should go to jail and ever be punished for anything. We're saying these guys should be strung up. They should do this. They should do that. And TMZ was pushing this as a real story and blaming it squarely on Trump and the people who they believe support Trump, right?
Yeah.
So now, then he came on Fox to talk about it. And when they try to question him, he pushed back real hard against them. So they backed up. And that's the problem that we have with the media, in my opinion, including Fox News.
Did you see Don Lemonhead came out saying, oh, they're the news is just gonna jump on this and eat his lunch? That was his quote today. The president's gonna get on this and eat his lunch. It's like, oh yes,
I don't want Jesse's lunch at all. No, thank you.
But he needs to be made an example of. Of course, people are gonna jump at this. It's like what we've been talking about, fake news, since Trump got elected.
Yeah.
But why shouldn't people go after him?
I don't
could have hurt people. What if people in Chicago said, you know what? We're going to go out there and get some of these white guys.
Yeah. And it was.
What if that happened? What if there was someone in Chicago that was wearing a Make America Great hat, and people were like, let's get that guy, and they beat him up, killed him, or did something behind this? This is the reason why you can't go out there and create these circumstances, as well as the fact that when they really happen, you're diminishing that and making it more difficult for people to see actual justice who do go out and do horrible things like this. Because I don't advocate people going after anyone for their race, religion, sex, or anything. Leave people in America alone, okay? Don't mess with anyone unless they mess with you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but yeah, Don Lemon, I think right now what everyone's going to try to do is deflect this off of him and place the blame on everyone else. You're going to see lots of people believing that it's a conspiracy and, they just created this and they hired the Nigerians to do it to him. There's going to be all kinds of crazy shit that's going to come out. I predict he's going to be in rehab within the next week.
I think they're going to have some. My guess is the defense is going to be, oh, he has. Oh God, what was that? He's got too much money. He doesn't know what to do with himself, sort of syndrome. Like seriously, that's the only argument you can have is, oh, he has a mental illness.
Yeah, but he deranged his own self. And by the way, if he seriously through the mail, if he crushed up some kind of white thing, I think it was Tylenol.
Big trouble.
If he crushed that up and he sent that through the mail, and someone doesn't really bring him, to bear for that, then something's really, really seriously wrong.
You do not mess with the Postal Service. They don't screw around. Affluenza. Thank you, Richard Hughes. Affluenza. Totally.
No, he's going to say that he's not affluenza enough. He's not affluenza enough.
He does not have a future as a director. I mean, if you can't direct very well,
very well
attack on yourself,
Well, he's not going to be any good at casting, obviously. But I'm sure I don't know. This thing is so weird, man. We're not seeing anywhere near the end of that. Okay, so I don't want to spend like all the time on that. The other big story that broke last night after the show, I think this was all going on while we were on the air, but I wasn't aware of it, is the Benchmade story. Did you guys hear anything about this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I have not heard much about it. I got a bunch of emails that came in that said, look at this picture of Benchmade helping destroy weapons in Oregon, guns in Oregon somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw up a link in the chat that you could see that we can go over it. But but before I get to the link, go ahead. Finish telling how you became aware of the story, Greg. Sorry.
No, that's the only thing I know so far is that they were helping destroy some weapons that had been confiscated or that the Oregon police had, or some police department in Oregon. So that's all I know so far because I've been busy all day. But
Right. So I think that I don't know when you came across the story, Patrick, but I know that when we got back home and I was winding down and looking to post stuff and things like that, I saw like Instagram, everyone was reposting these pictures because apparently, what is it, Oregon City Police Department or something? They posted these pictures where they had these guns
real fast.
Yeah, for whatever reason, these guns needed to be destroyed. Apparently, we need to Google map this and see how close the Oregon City PD Police Department is to Benchmade's headquarters, because they needed to destroy these guns. Apparently, there's no Home Depots, there's no Lowe's, there's no freaking Harbor Freight that they could go to.
So the only thing you can say there is to properly destroy a firearm per ATF rules is it has to be torch cut. So they have to go somewhere that can torch cut the receivers. But that being said, yeah, you think they would, if they were destroying firearms, they would have somebody contracted to do that, or have just an oxyacetylene torch sitting around and just lop them off. I don't know.
Yeah. So what happened is they went to Benchmade. This is what they're claiming. They went to Benchmade, and in this, they posted this thing where they were thanking Benchmade for helping them to destroy these guns. I don't know if Benchmade reposted this, but the police department took down their post. But it's the internet, yo. And gun guys jumped all over this one, and they reposted these things. I mean, I went to Benchmade's Instagram, and they posted some kind of sale up there, and they had thousands of comments like, "Screw you, we'll never buy Benchmade stuff again. You guys suck." You know,
should have had Corey on tonight to talk about Microtech.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing. They were the rival knife manufacturers.
Yeah, I'm sure jumping in going, no, we don't do that crap.
Yeah. So all of that was going on. There was some official statements that came out. The police department did not shy away from it, and they they pulled down the post, but which it was too late for that. But they did say that they put out statements there. So if you look at the Truth About Guns, there's stuff all to that effect. Here's what the Oregon City Police says. Good evening. We understand some of our followers are upset with Benchmade knives because of a recent post we put out. The post did not give everyone the full story on why the guns were required to be destroyed. We received guns that are turned in from community members that they no longer want the guns and want them destroyed. We also have guns that are evidence, and when a case is adjudicated, the guns are ordered by the court to be destroyed. So, and it goes on to talk about that. And then I think also, I'm trying to find the Benchmade statement. Benchmade put out a statement too. Yeah, so they said, we apologize for the confusion and concern this post created. There were firearms that the Oregon City Police Department had to destroy in alignment with their policies. Oregon City Police requested the use of specialty equipment within the Benchmade facility to follow these requirements. And as a supporting partner of our local police force, we oblige the request. Benchmade is a proud and unwavering supporter of both law enforcement and Second Amendment rights. These are commitments that we do not take lightly and will continue to support well into the future. So that's like a very boilerplate. What do you guys think about that?
I hear politicians say that all the time in the Capitol as they're pushing for gun control. I'm a proud defender of the Second Amendment, and I'm a proud defender of law enforcement. And not that you can't be both, but you're out destroying firearms. I would have told the police department, find your own way to do it, because I'm not going to help you. So that's just me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I think that's what we all feel about it. There's something visceral, I think, and justly so. Look, I get the whole thing that the police department, this is just the rules, the way that it goes, and maybe they can't do it on their own, right? Maybe they don't want to spend the money to do it on their own. I have to believe there's other places they could go to.
Sure.
But let's say there aren't other places that they could go to. I really think the story from Benchmade is BS, because even if you agree to that, right? Even if you agree to that and it's all genuine, why the hell do you post it up on social media?
I don't understand that.
You know, who believes that? What police, what, you know, how many times do we see people rat themselves out to the police on social media by overposting? How come the police don't realize this? How come Benchmade don't realize, okay, you got to do this? Don't freaking post it on social media.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was virtue signaling. I think this is why they did it, right?
Yeah.
There was some kind of virtue signaling out there going, hey, look, we're destroying these guns. Because look, if it's the police thing and they have to do it, do your job and you know, go about your business. Don't post about it.
So here's the thing. So get this. Oregon City is a suburb of Portland. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of places in Portland and the surrounding area that could have done that job.
Yeah.
But also Portland is super, super liberal. So,
well, see, but this is the thing. I have to believe here that somewhere behind Benchmade, the company, the people who actually own and run this company, and the people who are there day to day, they don't put themselves in the same boat with the Second Amendment guys, with the gun guys. They just can't. There's no way they have that frame of mind. They would have to. I know that they probably have posts and stuff like that up, but they would have to prove that to me, because this is too crazy to believe that someone there didn't go, do not, even if they agreed to do this.
Yeah, don't post about this.
Do not post this. Yeah, don't take pictures. Don't put any of this up. I think this was some kind of virtue signaling from the people behind this. And I think the truth about guns, if you look at this article that they have up here, they're showing like money that Benchmade has given to politicians. And most of them are Democrat. A couple of them are Republicans, but even some of those Republicans in there have done a lot to support gun control. So, yeah. You know, I think that, look, I think there's gun companies out there that would have done this.
Yep.
I'm just telling you guys. I know that sounds like it's going to make some people mad, but I think there's gun companies out there that would have gone along with this and done it, but maybe they would have been smart enough to not post it.
Yes. Yeah. Just don't talk about it.
Yeah. People do crazy things. Look, I remember when with the whole Zimmerman thing, I remember that because so he used the Kel-Tec. What was it? Was it a 380 Kel-Tec, or I think it was a 9mm? Yeah. Yeah, so he used a Kel-Tec. That obviously was taken from him, right? He's never ever going to get that back. So Kel-Tec decided that they were going to replace his gun. Okay. You know, why did they invite him to Kel-Tec in order to give him the gun that they were going to replace? Now, I understand how we all see this story, right? How we all see what happened. Personally, I think that was like a perfect storm. Lots of people doing the wrong thing on both sides there. That's how that whole thing went down. But Kel-Tec decided to give this guy, replace his gun. And they invited him to come to Kel-Tec to get the gun. So, of course, people were taking pictures with him. So, you know, someone there has to think, yeah, we shouldn't do this. So they told the employees, okay, don't let any of these pictures get out there. Don't post any of these things. One of the employees shared that with a friend of his who sold it to TMZ. Okay, so of course it got out there, blew up. It became a whole big thing. On the other side, not to us as gun guys, but on the other side, it became a whole big thing. That employee got fired and all that kind of stuff. Like, why do you have to share everything that you do? Some things should just be secret. Keep it to yourself. I mean, on our part here, we're glad that we know this about Benchmade and where they're coming from. But let's see. Go ahead.
Sorry, in the last 3 election cycles, every dime they have donated has gone to Democrats. So
Benchmade?
That's what it says. Open secret.
I believe that. Yeah.
Open secret its contribution picture, and it's all.
Wow, good to know.
Yeah,
okay.
I think we know where they're at. They can say whatever they want to. I think we know very well where they're at. Morpheus W gave us $5. He says he used a Keltec PF9 until this day. That's why I don't own a Keltec. I seriously hope they recant supporting that scumbag wife beater.
Yeah, they have two. Sorry, this is back on another thing. They have two donations. They're not big donations, but still, for House and Senate, they supported two Democrats, Martin Heinrich and Kurt Schrader.
Yeah, I think we know where Benchmade is at now. I think we know where they're at. I think they just realized that a lot of the guys that buy knives buy guns and vice versa.
Oh my God.
I don't really think they care about that.
That was only 2018. 2016 and 2014, 5 Democrats, 1 Republican in 2012. This is the first one. Everything else since 2012. Yeah. And then from 2012 back, it's kind of a mix. But since 2012, it's been all Democrats.
I think if you deep dive into the Republicans as well, you'll find that, not all those Republicans are supporting the Second Amendment, actually.
No, and especially in the state of Oregon right now, there's lots of Republicans at the Oregon state level that are supporting gun control.
They're like New York Republicans.
Yeah. Don't remind me. Yeah. So horrible. Yeah. Okay. I'm just following back all the people, by the way. I think I've got like 30 something people following me. Thanks to everyone out there that's following me on IG. So I'm just following everyone back here. Yeah, Benchmade. Oh man, I think right now we're just scratching the surface of what's going on with Benchmade, and I think that it's highly likely that the people behind Benchmade are really not with us on the Second Amendment thing. Of course, they're going to say that, but there's something going on here.
Just like a politician to go out there and tell you one thing and then do something behind the scenes completely different. I mean, it's stupid stuff. There's too many cameras these days. There's too much social media. They had to have known that was going to get out in about 10 minutes after it happened, and they did it anyway. So
Tyven just sent me this from 13C Gun Reviews. He says that the court order also included them auctioning them off. So they could have potentially sold them at auction, but they decided to destroy them.
Yeah, I really feel like that post was virtue signaling.
Yeah, I could see it.
If that's what does this department do this? I don't think they did this before, right? If they did this before, it would have blown up before. It would have been a thing. Why did they decide to put it out there that, hey, we're destroying these guns? And by the way, thanks to Benchmade, they're helping us do that. There's more to it than what they're trying to tell us. They're obviously trying to clean it up. I don't think that we should believe them. No. Obviously, we're I'm going to keep like a certain percentage of my hearing open to what they have to say, but I don't really believe it. I think as we dig into it and we look deeper and deeper into this, we're going to see. Thanks, Lola. Yeah, I had to get a soda here. Sorry, forgive me for this, but
Yeah, no, and that's there was just no. I mean, look, this is like the guy that was that set up the attack on himself, right? So immediately the story comes out about Benchmade. And we have to be careful not to jump into that same situation where we start hanging people or hanging a company based on one picture that we see in a post. Now, evidence against them is not looking good. Like right now, it definitely looks like they got caught. And but at the same time, we always have to keep our ears open. Something else may come out, and you don't want to have to go back and start retracting statements you made about people.
For sure, I think we should dig into it and find out what's going on here. But let's also remember the difference here is that we financially, when we buy Benchmade products, which we do, right? How many guys? I'm pretty sure I've got some Benchmade knives. Patrick, you got none?
No Benchmade. Spyderco and Microtech only.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm sure there's folks out there, and if we're buying their stuff, we support them. I'm trying to remember if I saw these guys at SHOT Show or not, and I'm thinking that they were at SHOT Show. So yeah, I think if we support companies thinking that, hey, these companies, their values are somehow aligned with us, we should have interest in what they're doing. And then if we find out that they're not aligned with us, it's a simple thing. Just don't support them anymore.
Mark it down on the list. Dick's Sporting Goods, cheaper than dirt. Who else? Who else don't we support?
Oh, cheaper than dirt is like on my list many times. But
yeah, so add them to the list of companies you don't buy from.
Yeah, that's the thing.
What's the other one that threw us under the bus last year? The pistol company,
Springfield Armory. Yeah.
Add them to the list.
And here's what I think. Here's what I think right now. I think that, you know, Benchmade, if they really do support the Second Amendment, then they need to like prove that to us. Show us that you do support the Second Amendment.
Yeah, one of your supporters said if they're in Portland, the odds of that are not good.
Oh.
Right? I mean, they could easily come right over here to Boise. We're 8 hours away, and they could have one of the most Second Amendment friendly places in the country. So
Portland's a crap hole.
I'm not trying to beat up on them. I'm really not. I'm not trying to beat up on them, but I think that I've been saying this for a long time, that people think Benchmade's a knife company, right?
Yeah.
So by association, we think that they're okay with guns. But I'm telling you that there's even gun manufacturers, companies owned by people in the gun business, that these people are not really pro Second Amendment.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on.
They're worse than FUDs, some of these guys.
Yes.
I mean, they are, let's all sorts of restrictions. I believe that there is a Second Amendment. Yeah, I see the words right there, but as far as what that means and believing in it and protecting it, they just don't care.
Yeah.
In reality, they're going to make money off of a product that millions and millions of people buy. So yeah, they're going to get in the game for that reason, not because they care about protecting the right itself.
Yeah. If you believe in the Second Amendment, then show me. And not what you do right now, but what have you been doing that would prove to me that you believe in the Second Amendment? It's a real simple thing. Look, at SHOT Show, I was asking a bunch of companies, where they're at. I found the small companies, absolutely supported the Second Amendment. But a lot of these bigger companies didn't even want to talk about it.
No. They don't want to be. They don't want to be on camera talking about that.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem, because if you don't want to talk about it, then I have to believe that you're not giving money and you're not helping organizations that are out there fighting for the Second Amendment, right, Greg?
Yep, absolutely. Show me the money.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so you're in an organization that's fighting for the Second Amendment. How do you guys get the money to do this? Because I'm sure it costs some kind of money, right?
Yeah. So, when we first started, it was tough, man, because I spent probably $10,000 of my own money, risking my own money to get this organization up and running in Idaho. And eventually we just started doing snail mail and emails and all that kind of stuff. And we've built up a decent donor base now, but it took a lot of work. It's hard to find gun owners who are willing to chip in, $5 or $10 to help your organization out, but it does cost a lot of money. I think we spent somewhere around $13,000 in the election, which doesn't sound like a lot. And it's really not a lot compared to how much the establishment has, but we spent $13,000 in all sorts of different races across the state of Idaho. And we did really well with very little money, because guns in Idaho are like the number one issue. You just don't mess with them.
It's good to hear that there's a state that still believes that.
Yeah, we're probably one of the few that are left, but we're being overran right now by people from California, Washington, and Oregon. A lot of good people moving here trying to get out of those places. But there's also a lot of bad people coming here trying to change our stuff. So
we've talked about this before, and it's something that I just don't understand. You're fleeing what I would call your shithole states, but then you're bringing your shit politics to the states that you're fleeing to. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It's what people are doing that are coming to America from different countries, right? They're leaving their countries because they're so horrible. Then they're coming to America and they want us to have the same policies in America that they have where they came from. Well, why don't you just stay there? Now, I'm not saying everyone that comes here does that. I'm an immigrant. I don't believe in that. I don't want to see America be anything like Guyana, to be honest with you.
Oh, God. I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some water.
Yeah. So it's Hank, it's a lot of work. You have to. I mean, especially right now, I probably do 70 to 80 hours a week doing gun politics, either for the Second Amendment activists or for our local group here in Idaho. and it's a lot of work, and we don't have any full-time staff members or anything like that. So I can promise you that in other states, if you guys have other states with gun groups, you've got the same type of situation. So whether you can support them with time or volunteer work or chipping in $5, help out your local organization, plus join up with GOA and some of the other no compromise groups.
How do you guys raise money?
So we raised money. One of the craziest ways that we raised money that was really strange to me in the beginning was we had somebody come out and say, okay, you need to send out snail mail. And, we've got a company that can give you a list of people who should be good for gun owners. And, they donate to gun groups and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, so we get this list of people and we just send out snail mail. And I thought this has got to be the craziest thing I've ever heard of for raising money. But honestly, a lot of the people who are gun owners, we have a lot of people in the older generations that are 60, 70, 80 years old. They don't have it in them to go out in fights, but they want to chip in some money to help you out. Right. That's how we found a lot of our donors, was through snail mail. And then, I'm online all the time. We're always on Facebook and all that kind of stuff, doing emails. We have a pretty large email list, and we say, hey, we want to run an advertisement on this gun grabber that's doing X, Y, and Z. So chip in $300. We'll spend that $300 in his district, hitting him for what he or she is trying to do. And we get more than we need to cover those type of advertisements and stuff like that. So
okay. Do you use any apps and things like that to raise money?
No, we don't have any apps or anything.
Oh, okay. I was just curious about it because I was looking at something about Bernie Sanders. I mean, I think he raised a record amount of money when he announced that he was running for president in 2020. But one of the interesting things is that there's apparently something that's like the Netflix for political funding out there. And he's got $600,000 already of money that's committed and then going to be coming to him every month because there's people on a subscription basis giving him money for his thing. And I was looking, I can't, I'm trying to find the article. I can't find it, but it's called Blue something. And it's a way that you can fund, but it's only for Democrats. There isn't a red, whatever it's called. But we need more things like that because there's people out there that are going to give Bernie Sanders $600,000 every month.
I don't understand it. It's just you give the crazy old man money so he can steal it from you later. And part of the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think we all need to figure out how to get with it and be able to do these things so that we can keep fighting in the ways that we're fighting, especially for folks like you, Greg.
Yeah, but see, I don't know that it's a technological barrier that we have where, we need an app just like that. And if we had an app like that, the conservatives would all donate. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is conservatives just don't give a crap. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the Constitution is my right. The Second Amendment is my right. I don't have to pay anybody to defend the Second Amendment for me. That's the attitude of a lot of people.
I think so.
So, I just,
that sucks, man. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because ultimately, like anything else in the world, it takes money to fight the revolution. And you might think like, hey, we already fought that revolution. We have the Constitution. You don't have things that you cannot defend. I keep telling people that. That's what the Second Amendment is all about. You do not own something. You do not have something that if someone comes and puts a gun in your face and says, what you going to do for that? Yeah. If you can't defend that thing, you've got to just run it. You got to give them whatever it is they want from you. So in that regard, you don't have the Second Amendment if you don't get out there and defend it.
Yeah, I agree. And if you figure out that magic formula, be sure to let me know because and don't get me wrong, we have an awesome base of gun owners who do pitch in financially to help on all sorts of fronts. So we do have that. The problem is the left has gobs and gobs of money, far more than we'll ever have. And all we need is for all these millions of gun owners to give $5 or $10 a month to whatever group they support. And man, that would go a long way to stopping a lot of this really bad stuff.
Hell yeah. Okay, look this up, Babyface, if you can. Tim sent us this. Tyven sent us. He says it's called actblue.com. It's called ActBlue. Yeah.
Billions raised since 2004.
Yeah, they've raised like $3-4 billion for liberals. Okay.
Yeah.
And you know what the tough thing about it is, Greg, is that there's lots of folks out there. I'm not saying like the people that we're talking to right now, we're preaching to the choir. These are folks who come on here every day. They take time out of their lives. It's amazing to me. And they watch us and they participate in what we're doing here. So I'm not talking to the folks that are listening to us, but you know, how many millions of gun guys are we supposed to have out there?
Yeah.
Do we have 50 million? Do we have 100 million? What is it? It's supposed to be half of America. That's 350 million people. I don't know if that's real. And definitely there's people out there buying guns, but they're not necessarily supporting the fight for that. Now, people may think that they're doing it because they're supporting the NRA, and then the NRA is making those decisions, but they're one monolithic organization that basically does whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, there are, you know, at least over 100 million gun owners, probably more that own firearms, but a lot of people just are unplugged from what is happening. And I think part of the problem is the fight largely has shifted from Congress to the state level. Okay, the gun grabbers, for the most part, have given up trying to push gun control through Congress. Even when Obama was in and Democrats had full control, they didn't really do anything, right? And so they've moved those fights to the state level where gun owners, whether they're hardcore and always paying attention like we are and like you guys are and your listeners, or whether it's people that, you know, just I own guns. I love to go out target shooting, right? Target shooting, that's my thing. And I shoot every single week, you know, and you to ask them about, hey, what do you think about red flag laws? I go to gun shows doing petitions on red flag laws, trying to make sure that it never comes to Idaho. And they're like, what's a red flag law? And I'm like, good gosh.
I know. I've had some of those conversations myself.
Good, you know?
Yeah. Razor JB says, where is the GOA? Been silent for weeks. What would you say? How would you answer that question in regards to the GOA?
Well, so full disclosure, I don't work for the GOA, but I talk to Jordan Stein on a daily basis. What I can tell you right now is that state legislatures across the country are in session. So like in Idaho, for instance, we go from January to the end of March, and there are a lot of states just like that. And I know they're busy. In fact, I talked to Jordan today, literally on the phone from GOA, and they are sending out alert after alert all across the country in different fights, trying to stop gun control and push pro-gun measures. And so they're swamped right now. There's not a lot happening with Congress. We're kind of waiting on that full vote for universal background checks. But other than that, it's been kind of silent at the congressional level as far as gun control goes. So that,
yeah,
I know GOA is working their butts off because I talk to them almost every day. So
yeah. Also, like for example, I know Mac has he has them on. I can get them to come on if you guys want to have them come on. They're not a huge organization. They don't have a ton of people. They don't roll like the NRA, but we can get them to come on if you guys need to hear from them personally. I know I get emails and email alerts and things like that. They're on social media. They're pushing these things, but mostly what they're trying to do is use the money that they get to fight things in court. Am I off base with that?
Yeah, they are. Well, as far as how their money is dispersed, I don't know, but I know they are fighting the bump stock ban in court, which is taking up a lot of their time, a lot of their money. But the way the GOA works, because like you said, it's a much smaller group than the NRA. The money that the GOA has is not, I mean, it pales in comparison to what the NRA has. And so the NRA will send a lobbyist who controls 5 or 6 different states, right? And they have those under their purview, where the GOA doesn't have that. They have a few people who are actual hired activists, so to speak, like Rachel Malone in Texas.
Right. We've had her on. You guys can go look at, yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, the GOA usually does what they do with me in Idaho, which is, hey, what do you have going on in Idaho and how can we help you? You know, so I'll tell, and I just had Jordan, they're sending out an alert tomorrow morning for us in Idaho, trying to stop some stuff here in Idaho. So that's generally how they work. And that's why you might not see them out in the open as much.
Yeah. I think that I see Gun Enthusiast says, I think a monthly subscription to 2A rights organization is an excellent idea. I think there's lots of good ideas out there that we need to get up on, because it's really going to take a lot to make this happen. And I don't think we could fully rely on the NRA to do it. I'm not trying to say the NRA is doing zero. They are out there doing certain things, right? But there's battles that they're not going to fight because they're the ones that said, hey, we're not going to fight this. So you guys go ahead and make laws about this. We're cool with that.
Yeah, well, I mean, like last year, for instance, we stopped a bill in Idaho where you have the Lautenberg Amendment, right? Which means if you have a domestic violence misdemeanor conviction, you can't own firearms unless you go through this process and you get them all restored and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Well, they wanted to create another state level crime where if you were convicted of domestic violence misdemeanor, a simple misdemeanor, not a felony, a misdemeanor. Mm-hmm. So whether you had an argument and threw a shoe at your wife one time, or whether you were a habitual beater, they were going to treat everybody the same. And we were like, no, this is a terrible idea. This mm-hmm. is stupid. Mm-hmm. And we were the only gun group, and the GOA was helping us behind the scenes, but the NRA was nowhere to be found helping us stop that bill. And we were able to stop it in Idaho. We stopped a gun control bill by 5 votes. It was that close.
And by the way, that could go the other way. A woman could be denied those rights because she fought back against her husband or something like that. And it could turn out that he's the deadly, dangerous, abusive one. And now she doesn't have the ability to fight back against him. People need to think about this stuff before they do it. Brian Anderson says, Greg, do you talk to the FPC? What's the FPC? I see that.
The Firearms Policy Coalition.
Okay. All right. There you go. Okay. Do you talk to those guys?
No, I'm not in regular contact with the FPC. So
okay. All right. There you go. And Night Train says GOA has filed a motion for preliminary injunction, which would hit the pause button on enforcing the bump stock ban until the legality of regulations can be fully litigated. Wasn't there a red flag vote somewhere in the country today? Oh man, I gotta see if I can pull that up. It was, right?
It wasn't in Congress. I don't know if
I think it was in one of the states.
Excuse me.
I don't know if that's on the. I saw something about that before it came on, but I didn't get a chance to transfer it over to my screen here. So someone who knows, I think there was a vote going on in one of the states today about red flags, and I believe that it was voted down, but I don't want to put that out there.
Okay.
Unless we know exactly what happened. Yeah.
Man.
Huh?
Bad stuff.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, since we're on the topic of red flag laws, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So I've had this discussion with a lot of people. We can't, right now we are in an echo chamber, most likely, right? I mean, the guys that are watching this, they support you, they support guns, they support everything we're trying to do. And so I wanted to try and do something different. I wanted to create a series of YouTube videos that were both entertaining, but also kind of expose gun control in a way that wasn't, hey, gun grabbers, you're a bunch of sacks of, and just kind of that kind of stuff. And so we actually came up with this series that we're doing called Gun Control Hunters. And I've got a really good friend. She's an actress and a representative here in Idaho. And here, I'll hold up the picture. Hopefully you can see
Okay,
that.
Let me lock it on you here. Anyway. Okay. And, like Mythbusters?
I look about as douchey as I can possibly look, I think. But anyway, so it's about 5 minutes long, and we're going to release it next week. Finally, it's been a lot of work, but just to kind of have some entertaining way to show you, like, red flag laws is the first episode. Here's why red flag laws are bad. And so we kind of take that, and we're hoping, I mean, I've even had gun guys, when I posted this picture on my Facebook page, that this triggered the gun guys. They were like, oh, gun control and screw these people. Who are these actors? And they're attacking me and so it was kind of interesting. So we actually think we're going to get a lot of people in the middle, maybe even some gun control people who think they support red flag laws, to maybe watch this and go, okay, if that's what a red flag law is, that's stupid. That's dangerous. And that is the goal that we have, is to try and pull those people in. So we're not just repeating the same stuff to the same people over and over. We have to get more people in this fight. We have to get more people from the middle, and maybe even some from the left, who think they support gun control, to start looking at some of the stuff that's happening and go, okay, yeah, that's not a good idea. That's really bad. So that's the goal with this series that we're doing.
Yeah. So how can people, what do they need to do to see that when you guys release it?
So it'll go up on the YouTube channel. I believe we're shooting for a week from tomorrow, right? A week from tomorrow. Yeah, we're shooting for a week from tomorrow. It'll just go up on the YouTube channel when we post it. So
okay, and the YouTube channel is here. Let me pull up something. Make sure I'm subscribed to you on the YouTubes.
Pretty sure you are.
Yeah.
What's
the name of
Second Amendment Activist?
Second Amendment
Activist.
Activists. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys go over there. I'll make a link to it right now.
Yeah. If I had lots of money, I'd pay somebody to be a much better actor than I am. But you'll have to deal with my subpar acting. But that's the kind of stuff on top of session I've been working on. I think I was up until 5:30 in the morning the other day doing editing on this video, trying to get it ready to go. But we hope to. We want to try and go after AR-15s, the scary assault weapons, and high capacity magazine bans, all the typical gun control stuff. We're going to try and push it in a different direction. The messaging.
Yeah. By the way, Armament and Axes is telling me it's right behind you. It's written right behind you. Yeah,
it is. All of their social media links right there.
Well, YouTube isn't on there though, to be fair. So.
No, that's totally fine. I am back. There's a whole bunch of things. There's a whole bunch of things going through my brain right now. Trust me. So yeah, I didn't see that. Hey, good call.
That's okay.
So let me see. Okay, Lola's telling me that she emailed me this the link for I'll pull it up right now for what we were talking about with the red flag law. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Oh, the state. Okay. Well, good.
Yeah.
I don't know which state you're looking at, but in Utah, so our neighbor in Utah, there was an A-rated NRA Republican that came out with a red flag law, a red flag bill. And he was trying to push it, and luckily in Utah,
of all, does he know? Does this guy know where he lives?
Yeah, it's been killed in Utah. But that's the thing with these red flag laws, as you know, you're in Florida. You had 67 NRA A-rated Republicans that helped push it through in Florida.
Bastards all.
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's all over the place. And even in Idaho, when we first started our session, we actually sent out red cards, and said, do you oppose any and all forms of red flag laws? We sent that to every legislator, and only 22 of them came back and said, yes, I oppose 100%. Only one guy had the cojones to say, no, I don't oppose, which was a Democrat. And then the rest of them, we didn't hear from them. And they were like, oh, it's Idaho. It's never going to happen in Idaho. And I said, yeah, that's what the
famous last words. It's never going to happen here.
That's how you go down. That's how you go down. Yeah.
Yeah. The gun owners in Oregon, California, and Washington all said the same thing. It's never going to happen here. Yeah. Never going to happen. And now look at those places.
So here's the thing. The link is too long. I put it in our internal chat, but I would have to make it into a tiny link or something to share with everyone else. It's North Dakota. And the headline is North Dakota House easily rejects red flag gun seizure bill. Bismarck, North Dakota, the House rejected a bipartisan bill allowing judges to issue protection orders temporarily preventing people deemed dangerous from possessing guns Tuesday, February 19th. So that was recently.
Yeah.
So, but we have to be vigilant here, because the people that are going about doing this are very well funded, very well organized. They have lots of things, lots of tools in their arsenal, so to speak. So there's a lot of this crap going on.
So here's something new, Hank, that maybe none of your listeners know about. We just found out about this. So Idaho is proposing a constitutional amendment called Marsy's Law. Okay.
Right. They try to push that here in Florida.
Nationwide movement. Yeah. There's, I think, 11 or 13 states already have it. This is not an issue where you're going to find the word gun or where you're going to find the word firearm. Well, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, a supporter came to me and said, hey, you need to take a look at this Marsy's Law. And I already knew it was about victims' rights. That's what the law is about. Okay, the proposal. It's about victims' rights. And I was like, what the heck am I looking at Marsy's Law for? Well, he shows me this phrase in the wording that says a crime victim has the right to reasonable protection from the accused. And immediately I said, well, wait a minute here. That sounds exactly like a red flag law, right? You get reasonable protection from somebody you're accusing of something.
Right.
And so we start looking into this, and sure enough, there is nothing that would stop a judge in Idaho from using our constitutional amendment that's being proposed to stop and do a red flag law. Like nothing.
That's how they've got hip to that. Yeah, they've got hip to that, and they're going around to a lot of states. They tried it in Florida. What do we do it in Florida every 10 years, Patrick? Yeah. So they tried it this go round, because I think this was the 10 years. But they're going to try it in every state until they're going to keep doing this until they get something injected in there, right, Greg?
Yeah, they'll keep going, and they'll wait until there's another tragedy, and then they'll do something. I mean, but look at Illinois got red flag laws. It didn't stop the shooting that just took place there. It doesn't matter. It's not going to make any difference.
Yeah, I think that I don't know what it's going to take for people to realize that all these things are not helping anything. You need people to be able to protect themselves. That's what you need to do. In that moment when something goes wrong, then you need to be able to protect yourself. But you can't just go out there and then accuse people of things, and then that person now lose their rights, and they lose their constitutional rights at that. So.
Yeah, well, and that's the scary thing about the Idaho. What they were trying to do in Idaho was they want to put it as a constitutional amendment, and I'm thinking you don't let that happen, because if that happens, it's a lot harder to fix than if you pass a state statute, and then the legislature can go in and change stuff.
Oh, it's near impossible.
Yeah, and even to change a legislative statute is extremely difficult. A constitutional amendment, forget about it. Not going to happen. So we're fighting. Actually, we're going to go protest at the Capitol next Thursday, a week from today, to try and stop this thing. And I think we're going to be successful. You never know, but you don't know if you're going to sit on your butt at your house and not do anything. So we'll get out there and fight. Yeah.
So what do you think people can do out there, other than like listening to these chats or getting mad at Benchmade, let's say, and reposting things? There's got to be more. I'm not saying people shouldn't do that. I'm just saying, what more can we do that will actually help?
Well, if you're talking about stopping like anti-gun legislation,
like how can people actually do this? This is what I'm trying to do. Other than like I know they can give money, but what are the things that we can actually do in our states? Because a lot of this fight right now is on the local levels, right?
Yeah, it's almost all at the local level, state level and lower, city, county.
So like when people are saying, hey, where's the GOA, where's this and that, and people don't realize they don't have a chapter in every state and all that kind of thing. Like, what can people actually do if they have the time out there, if they've got a few hours every week? What can people do to help push back against all this potential gun control that's always looming out there?
Yeah, so here's where a lot of gun groups go wrong. Okay, so there are a lot of gun groups out there who, during the legislative session, okay, assuming you go from like January to February, or January to April, whatever it is, stuff happens, right? Gun control passed in Florida, right? Just last year, gun control passed in Florida. A lot of gun control. Okay, when the election came around, who was out there fighting those politicians? Who was out there holding those guys accountable for what was happening? Because even the NRA can only do so much, right, across the entire country in all these election battles. And so if you don't have a state gun group who, number one, during session is pushing hard against gun control and they're pushing hard for pro-gun measures, that's all well and good. But that's usually where most activists and most people, the fight ends, right? They email their representative, and I'm mad that you voted for gun control. Well, then the election season comes around and the gun groups don't do anything. Right? They don't do anything. They just sit back and go, well, we lost our battle at the Capitol, so whatever. But
and those politicians that voted like that, they take a little bit of heat, and then people,
and then they forget about it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, so most legislators are voted in every 2 years. Okay. There are some states where the state senators are every 4 years, but for the most part, everybody's about every 2 years. And so what's happening is, these guys vote for something bad this year since it's not an election year, and then they get to 2020 when it's election year and they'll vote for a good bill and then just hope you forgot about the other one. Right? Don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
And so nobody's holding them accountable, though. If you don't have a state group holding these people accountable, Republican or Democrat, that's the key. There are a lot of gun groups out there who only go after Democrats, and they don't go after the Republicans in the primary. And so if you're not holding them accountable, no matter who it is, no matter what party it is, you're not doing your job as an organization. You are failing the people that you represent.
Yeah, that's why the gun control groups are going after the Republicans.
Yeah.
And they're going after them in a very nice way. There's money. Okay. They're going after them like, hey, what can we do to help you? Help us. You guys out there, how that goes. They're trying to run these campaigns and all that kind of stuff. Why would these guys be doing this? Why would they be betraying you? Why are they telling you they believe in the Constitution and the Second Amendment, and then they go vote completely opposite to that? So, you need someone to keep up with them, to keep the pressure on them, to make people aware of what they're doing all the time. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. You gotta hold these guys accountable at the end of the day. And that's where, having a group where you have people that are pitching in $5 a month when it comes to election time, that's huge, because you can really hold these guys accountable. Because you have to understand, the presidential election, $10,000 is nothing, right? I mean, absolutely nothing. In a state race, if you spend $10,000 in one state legislative race, that's a whole different ballgame. I mean, that's a lot of money. So
does anyone know how much money? Because I think Bloomberg, how many hundred millions did he spend? He spent like about 100 million, but in this last election cycle, but this was all over the country, right? So he was spreading out this money and helping get people elected locally.
Yeah, millions and millions of dollars all across the country. And again, a lot of that went to some of the states where they're trying to flip to get blue legislators, or some key congressional district races they spend a lot of money in as well.
Yeah. Sam Gal says you may want to fight a portion of Marsy's law, but you probably want the communication and restriction, parole restrictions, etc. Well, that's the sugar pill.
Yeah, look, as far as Marsy's law goes, it's about victims' rights. And so our involvement as a gun rights organization was only came into play. We weren't involved the previous 2 years, and the previous two versions didn't contain this particular language that we looked at. And so if this language was stricken from it, our organization would back out of that fight. I oppose it personally for a variety of reasons, adding it into the state constitution. But as far as guns go, they have that reasonable protection language in there, which is what gun grabbers use all the time. And so that's why we said, hey, this is dangerous language here. So
yeah. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any other things out there that folks want to get into. Lots of different things going on here in the news, other than Jesse Smollett and the Benchmade. Are we still getting a lot of pushback on the Benchmade thing? I wonder if Benchmade is going to make some videos, put out some videos showing how patriotic they are.
We'll see.
You'll see that. A patriotic knife or something.
Did you talk about the guys getting kicked out of Haiti and coming back?
Oh, no, we didn't. Yes, that's where is that?
What an unusual thing.
Do you have a link for that?
What was that about?
Those were definitely some kind of contractors.
Oh, they were yes.
Yeah. So do you want to explain the story, Patrick?
So as far as I can tell, 5 guys were driving around Haiti with a truckload of guns, 5 Americans, and they got stopped at a roadside checkpoint and were arrested by the Haitians. And then somehow they, instead of getting in trouble for anything, they just got kicked out of Haiti.
Yeah.
And all of them were like, a couple of them were like ex-Navy SEALs, or a couple like spec ops. So they were all some sort of like special operations guys.
Yeah. Contractors.
Like retired, like contractors. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they
landed in Miami and got off the plane and disappeared after that.
Here, I'll throw up a link right now so that you can see.
It's such a weird one. I don't know what's going on in Haiti at the moment that would warrant having contractors there, but somebody hired them to do something.
Yeah, they say that they were protecting a businessman, someone doing a business deal over there. Then where is that guy? Because everyone wants to know what business he was up to in Haiti. I'll throw up a link of it. I'll throw it up here for you guys as well, because you can see the guns that they got confiscated.
A couple Glocks, a couple full autos.
Some SBRs.
Yeah, they definitely had some good firearms with them.
Yeah.
Some tasty firearms, but it was definitely a weird one.
So they handcuffed them. These guys got arrested, but they were released by the Haitian government because the American government requested it. They put them on a plane. On the plane, I think the pilots or something didn't want them on the plane handcuffed, so they took off their handcuffs. They flew back to America, and then someone put the handcuffs back on them. But and now they've been dispersed amongst the Americans.
They're just let free. Yeah. As one of those guys, the most frustrating thing is I guarantee all those rifles are personally owned. They're not some company's property. I'd be so mad if my rifle got confiscated in Haiti, because you're never getting that thing back.
Yeah, well, that's why you're not supposed to take your stuff.
Yeah. Have the company buy you company property.
Yeah, it's supposed to be their stuff. Yeah. Remember, we had Tigan from Benghazi. He came on, and he was talking about all that, and they don't let you take your stuff. There's an armory or whatever over there. You go, you get things. So that's probably what happened here. You know, ultimately, they don't want those guys locked up in Haiti. So, you know,
it's just such a weird story that I guess they say they were protecting somebody, but who knows?
Yeah. 187 high. It says not supporting Benchmade knives again. I get it. And he says, "Come on, Hank." I'm with you. I get it. I'm down. I understand. Exhale says Benchmade frames going up for sale on website. Laugh out loud. You know,
they're probably going to make the next knife, you know, a big, huge one, a machete with the Second Amendment written on it. Like,
yeah. We're going to laser engrave it, all right, on the side.
Yeah, if people really support the Second Amendment, I want to see it. And don't just go out there and support like, oh, we give money to the NRA. That's not good enough.
Yeah,
that's not what I want. That's not what I want to hear. Yeah, that will tell me that you're tone deaf right now. That you don't even know where we're at. So I want to see what you are doing for the Second Amendment to support the Second Amendment that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So that would be my thing, and I would think that by this point we should be seeing like something. Is Benchmade privately owned?
I assume so.
We're gonna have to Wikipedia Benchmade and see. Let's look and figure out who owns Benchmade and where they're at. Like what what that person
private industry owned by Benchmade. They are their own company.
Okay, so it's a privately held company. Yeah. Hillbilly Nitro says those guys were over there for a false flag op.
You never know.
Yeah, and Tim Not Tim says, shouldn't 5 U.S. operators be able to overthrow the government of Haiti? Not if they got pulled over by a cop and gave up their guns.
I know they got stopped in like a corrupt back alley or something.
I don't know about you, but I'm gonna be like, dude, I think we got you beat. You might want to just get back in your car and pretend like you didn't see anything.
What you should have done is travel with $5,000 or $10,000 in cash and said, "Here's a couple $100 if you let us go," because that's how third world governments work.
Well, they should have fixers. They should be someone from the Haitian government that's a fixer or something.
Yeah,
rolling with them to flash a badge or something.
Well,
like
I think
that,
they did have one of those because they said there was a Haitian guy that was kept obviously in Haiti. So I wonder if they had somebody like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what's going on in Haiti. You know, that's like that's a whole other thing. Maybe they were there trying to get some destroy some evidence that the Clintons left behind.
That's probably right.
Yeah. Jafari 8 says Tonto in an interview showed his personal Frankenstein AR that he said he had in Benghazi.
Yeah, some of them carried personal guns. When you look at the videos of, oh God, there's like an infamous video of, I can't think of his name. He's a tall, skinny guy. Shooting off a wall in some third world country, shooting at nothing. I think he was using his personal rifle.
Yeah. Okay. And Grizz3 says, looks like they donated to 4 anti-gun Democrats. So I know people are still mad about the Benchmade thing.
You should be mad. No, you should be mad, and you should hold their feet to the fire and tell them we're not buying your knives if you're going to keep pulling this bullshit.
Who out there, did anyone out there actually destroy their Benchmade knives? I would like to know, and I need to see video. Okay, I need to see video. Because a lot of people are like, that's it, I destroyed.
Destroying your property doesn't make any sense. Just don't buy from them in the future.
Yeah.
You've already paid your money for your expensive knife. Just don't buy any more from them.
Their Wikipedia page already has the subtitle "Firearm Destruction Controversy."
Does it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy's updating Wikipedia. Don't play around.
No, they're doing it. Yeah, firearm destruction controversy.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm always hoping someone puts me in Wikipedia, man, then just puts outrageous shit in there about me. Yeah. Come on, babyface. That's a hint. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a wiki.
No, I'm not into Wikipedias. I'm not big enough yet.
When I do a search for Hank Strange wiki, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 5th thing down. No, the 6th thing down is Hank the Angry Drunken Dwarf. That comes up when I do Exchange Wiki. So that's the sixth thing right under the videos.
We should see if we can get that guy on the show. Does he have a mohawk?
That's way 2001. He's no longer around. So we're not getting him on the show.
R.I.P. Hank, the angry drunken dwarf.
But yeah, that's what comes up. So I think we need to have a Hank Strange Wiki to trump that.
Yeah. If anyone knows how to do all that stuff, put some outrageous stuff in there. That's how you do it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. 187 Hyde says Kershaw. So everyone,
some Kershaw knives.
Everyone's repping, yeah.
Is Kershaw makes one of those that, let me see. They make a knife.
It does say on the Wikipedia page, by the way, it says one of the reasons Benchmade is located in Oregon, as are many other knife makers, is because Oregon has very relaxed laws towards knives in general and switchblades or butterfly knives in particular.
I'm in Florida. We don't have any laws against that.
Okay.
Do you have a manufacturing restriction? Maybe. I mean, I don't.
On knives in Florida, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we would have.
And old red, white, and blue says Wikipedia funded by George Soros.
Yeah. Just like most of them.
And then there's questions there of whether or not Benchmade owns other knife companies. Do they have any subsidiaries?
No.
Okay. Razor JB says no personal guns at all, clones or actual guns of what you had, but not your own.
I own a Benchmade. I take that back. I just realized I have a seatbelt cutter in my.
Where is it? We want to see you destroy it right now.
It's in my first aid kit in the car. It's one of the little seatbelt hooks that covers.
Go get it and destroy it.
Yeah, I paid like $80 for that, $60 for that. I'm not destroying it.
What tool do you have that you can destroy it? Maybe Benchmade can lend you some tools to help you.
Yeah, they can torch cut it for me.
Yeah. Maybe they can lend you some tools to help you destroy.
Honestly, there are so many good knife companies out there you don't need to buy from Benchmade. And I'm not even saying, like, I know we own like high-end knives. You don't need to buy stuff like this. You can buy good Spydercos or CRKTs for like $30 or $40. Don't need to buy from Benchmade.
For a long time, I'm trying to think. I probably do have. I'm sure I have some kind of Benchmade amongst the knives that I've had. But I've had like a CRKT is what I carried all the time. There's a bunch of stuff.
You have your do you have your famous knife on you?
Razor JB says never bought a Benchmade, but had a ton issued to me. So I guess they issue that to spec op guys. Yeah, here's my Microtech right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. It has the Hank Strange logo on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Totally legal in the state of Florida right now until forever, I hope. But I don't know if you guys can see that, but that logo is this logo right here. Except the all white version of that logo.
I'm pleasantly surprised with how that turned out.
Yeah. Why? You thought it was going to look real ghetto, didn't you?
I just thought it was going to look trashy.
You doubt.
Did you see Orlando PD selects Sig Sauer's Virtus rifle as their new duty rifle?
Okay.
It looks really heavy. Sig has been everywhere lately.
Is that an upgraded 516 Patrol or something?
It might be. Modular Sig Virtus weighs just under 8 pounds and available in 5.56 and 300 blackout.
Jafari H says I've seen a Griptilian on here before. I swear. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Patrick has that Griptilian. Pretty sure of it.
I have no idea what that is.
He's just pretending that he doesn't have any Benchmade knives, so that's
a Benchmade knife called the Griptilian.
I think was that blue knife that you had?
No, I have a Spyderco that's blue.
Oh, that's Spyderco. Okay.
I have 2 Spydercos, 4 Microtechs. I think that's it. I think that's all the knives. I started out with Spydercos and then I moved up in the the food chain.
Len Holt wants to know if anyone's ever owned an Olympic AR.
Nope.
Olympic AR. No, I've never owned. I don't know. Have you ever heard of that, Greg?
Yeah, Olympic Arms. I've heard of it.
Okay.
Looks like your basic run-of-the-mill 5.56 AR-15.
Okay. By the way, you guys saw that I put up the Diamondback, the AM2, which the AM2 stands for Second Amendment, by the way. In case, you haven't figured that one out. They also sent me the DB9, which I guess there's some like redesign things on the DB9.
Is that the little tiny single stack?
Yeah, this is the little single stack pocket joint.
You shot it yet?
No, I haven't. See, it's still got the tag on it and all that.
Feel in the hand.
Huh. Tiny.
Small.
Yeah, for my big hands, I don't have baby face pea hands. I'm getting a little bit more around there, but still they don't have that undercut right there in that thing. Yeah, but it's a little small thing. I'll test it out. We'll see how it is. That's one of the things coming up, Patrick. We got to get together and shoot some stuff. Have you had any experience, Greg, with the Diamondback firearms?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. Not even the ARs I've used before, and they're fine. I have never had any issues.
What's your daily carry?
Me?
Yeah.
Smith & Wesson 40.
Okay. Oh, you're a 40 guy.
Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah. So have you seen a doctor for that, or? It's gonna start now in the.
Yeah.
All the 40 guys, put your hands up out there. Huh?
This 19 that I built started life as a 40. It was one of the police trade-in Glock 23 lowers. Makes for a great Glock 19.
I've always said I don't really care what you carry, just carry something. Carry something to defend yourself.
Is 40 cal very readily available there?
I have enough.
Okay. No, just curious. I was just curious. I know there's some parts of the country where you can get a lot of 40 cal and not 9mm, and then vice versa. So I just wanted to know.
No, man, it's Idaho. I mean, we have everything. In fact, ammunition manufacturing is one of our top industries in Idaho. Okay. So we have pretty much anything.
Okay, lots of people representing for you. Joe Guzman said first gun was a 40. Razor JB says Diamondback isn't carried in most places around here due to the problems always sending back. Paul K says 40 thumbs ups. Victor Fowler says I carry a 40. Brian Wyatt says I think he EDCs a Ruger SD 40. Wow, there's lots. Yeah, armament and axes. Nothing wrong with a 40.
Yeah. We have more 40 people than we thought out there.
Yeah.
I've seen people, 90-year-old guys put down thugs with a 22. So at the end of the day, do what you got to do to defend yourself. So no, you can carry what you want, but I also reserve the right to still judge you. Yeah. Why? Come to Idaho, you might have to carry a full-size 1911 for the wildlife you got to deal with.
Okay. Understood. When I started doing this, I really didn't care. I had 40s. I had all kinds of different things. I didn't care about it. And then I decided I'm like bringing everything down to 9mm. I have a couple of 45s and different things that we mess around with just because we make videos. But Len Holt says his carry is a 40.
If I had the money, and I don't, but if I had the money, I would probably switch or get something in addition to. Because when I go to church, a full-size 40 is a pain in the butt to carry around. I'd like something smaller, but I don't have the money, so I do what I do and carry what I carry. So,
who makes a single stack 40? Does Smith & Wesson make a single stack 40? I think so, right?
I think so. Yeah.
But okay.
Can't buy an extra because it's Springfield.
Yeah. James Miller says Hank goes hard after 40 carries. I go hard. Oh my God. Don't get me started.
Yeah. Don't get me started. My last time on the show, apparently. So it was nice meeting you all.
No. Tango Hunter says 9mm is 40 times better. So Randy Peacock says he carries a 40. Lions of Judah says Shield 40. There you go. And Rich White says Smith & Wesson has the Shield in 40. I carry one. Lots of people carrying 40s, man. There's an epidemic. Going out across America.
I don't know.
Yeah. And Armament and Access says, I have carried my 40. I do really want a full size 10 though. Everybody getting up. What do you think? What do you think about that 10 millimeter? Babyface, you were gonna say something.
I want to. We need to get a barrel for the. I have the Glock 21 downstairs. It's only like a barrel and an extractor. I think is all you need to convert it over to 10 millimeter from 45. So we need to do it. I think 10 millimeter is an awesome cartridge. Okay,
all right. What about you, Greg?
Yeah, I don't have any problems with it, but again, not a lot of money to go out and test around with stuff that I want to buy. So,
yeah,
honestly, the funny thing is, and maybe that's why my show is a little bit different in my channel is I am a gun person, but I'm more of the Second Amendment gun person. Like you guys can probably talk circles around me and all the different stuff that you test out and everything. And I'm over here like, I have enough guns to defend my family. And other than that, I'm too damn poor to go do anything else. So I spend a lot of my time on the political side trying to make sure we can keep all that stuff. So
no, you're doing the right thing. But let me tell you a secret, Greg.
All right.
We don't know shit about guns.
Don't speak for yourself over there.
Just FYI.
Oh no, you guys do great work. So
we make just drop something. We make up half the stuff. Just make it up.
Make it up.
If you sound confident while you're saying it, people will believe it.
Yeah.
That's what. Yeah, that's how you do it. No, listen, most people like that. Most people out there are like that. Did you? Were people carrying for? Go ahead, huh?
Yeah, so Kathleen Music Lover knows what's up. She said Hank cannot fix guns. She knows what's up.
To each his own. Everyone has their jobs that they do. Richard Hughes wants to know if I dropped a gun. Yes, that wasn't what I'm dropping just now. It's fine. It's fine. That's all part of the test.
In the Army, when if you dropped your firearm, you had to start doing push-ups and a lot of them.
Yeah. Well, good luck. Good luck. Yeah. Good luck trying to get me to do some push-ups right now. I'm doing mental push-ups right now. There we go. You guys, this is a POV camera right there.
For Lynn Holtz, he was asking, did I have to change anything? So I bought the plastic frame as just a frame for $50 from Recoil Firearms. So there's no conversion. It's just the frames are exactly the same between a 19 and 23. So it's just the frame. And then I built it as a 19 instead of a 23 because I like 9mm. All of my stuff is in 9mm.
Yeah.
Richard Hughes says, does Lola have to do the push-ups for you?
Because she does everything. Okay, I'm going to embarrass Hank right now. You ready for this?
What?
I'm giving him my old workbench. Because Marley bought me a new one for my birthday. So I'm giving Hank my old workbench. And he's like,
that's a good explanation for this.
Just check. I asked him, do you want this? It's free. Just come pick it up. He's like, oh, check with Lola, see if she can come by with the truck and pick it up.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you need to get the truck and come pick the damn thing up.
Do you know why? Because Lola has the pickup truck.
She doesn't drive the 4Runner anymore?
No, that's my younger son is driving that. So Lola has the pickup truck.
You gotta give her.
I mean, you want me to come over there in the Audi and get that thing?
Oh God. Do you want to come put that workbench on the top of your Audi?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm already in enough trouble as it is over that thing. So Brian Wyatt says, I'm debating getting the STI from Tehran, the John Wick edition, 3800. The STI. Oh, there's a the one that was in John Wick 2, right? The STI. Wow, 3800.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of dosh right there.
Yeah. By the way, if I had the pickup truck, I would just go over there and get that thing. So, yeah. Thanks for putting that out there. Ultimately, I do have the muscle. Lola just looks like she has muscles because she's short. So when you're short, you look like you have muscles, but you don't really have them. That's how. If you go check into those Nigerian brothers, you'll find out they're actually pygmies. That's why they look so cog diesel. No, of course not. I'm not gonna make Lola go over there and get the thing. It's just Patrick is telling me, oh, just bring the truck over here. I was like, okay.
Give her your fancy sports car for a day.
No.
Give her your fancy sports car that you
Don't
pay a lot
want
of
to do
money.
it. Don't want to do it.
Fancy truck that you also have.
Not gonna do it. Lola would love to be able to drive that around. She has.
You should let her.
Like
she
that.
deserves it for all the hard work she puts in.
No.
Lola, I got your back.
For her own good, I drive that. To help her out. So she doesn't have to get down that low to get in there.
Everybody's telling Lola to come smack you.
Okay, Kathleen Music Lover is going to put sheesh Hank here lots of times. Okay, fine. Go ahead. Let's see. The Archangel says, give the Audi to the boy for one day and drive the truck. Sure. Both of my kids destroy whatever cars they have.
Oh, he hit a pole. Can you imagine hitting that pole with an Audi?
Yeah. But also my younger son that was driving the 4Runner hit someone with the 4Runner, a parked car.
God.
And messed up that car, and now he has to pay that person to fix their car.
He wants kids so bad.
And then I've got to fix the 4Runner. So
think about how expensive it's gonna be.
Yeah, kids are not really that expensive. Do you have kids, Greg? I know you do because I heard them running around there.
Yeah, we got 4 kids. So.
Yeah, how old? What ages are they?
11, 9, 6, and 3.
Oh, that's so awesome. Yeah. Enjoy that, man.
Love it.
Yeah. The older they get, you'll find out. You'll find out how that one goes.
Yeah, they're good kids. Love shooting. They love the Second Amendment already. Nice. So good stuff.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's always a good thing.
In fact, my oldest son is 11, and he keeps asking me, he's like, when you die, can I take over the Second Amendment group? And I was like, sure.
He's already plotting. He's already plotting against you.
Tell him the math of realize when I'm 80 or 90, you're going to be 70. Or 60, whatever.
Maybe he's just hoping. I had a kidney stone a few weeks ago, and maybe he's hoping I'll just die from a kidney stone.
Kick the bucket.
Bucket early.
Yeah. Long life to you. Yeah. Let's see. Kathleen Music Lover says 4 kids. Sheesh, Greg. She's just sheeshing everyone right now. So
yeah.
No, that's cool, man. Are you going to have more kids? Or is 4 the limit?
I'm 37. I'm getting tired. So unless God makes things happen, no more kids, I don't think.
Yeah. No, 4 is good. You said you have how many boys? How many girls? Do you have any?
3 boys, and the girl is the baby. So
okay.
Yeah. Some older brothers to protect her.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Tyven Show wants to know if you were ever in the military.
Yeah, I did 13 years in the Idaho Army National Guard, and then 1 tour in Iraq. So.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. Very cool. I'm not sure why Tyven wants to know that.
Tyven's ex-Army, I think.
Yeah, he was in the Army.
Yeah, I think he was in the Army. So
yeah, I think he probably just wants to know if you were involved with any Glock testing.
Are we gonna have to explain this to every guest you bring on? Tyven has a theory that plastic Glocks will melt when what is it, thermonuclear apocalypse happens.
EMP.
EMP, that's it.
But to defend Tyven on this one, he said that this was the early Glocks, the late 80s, early 90s Glocks.
Tupperware Glocks.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's not the current formula of the polymer. So
God. Every time.
Yeah.
Never tell him your innermost secrets. He will just wreck you forever over them.
No, that's not. Listen, I'm not the one that brought that up. So, I'm not the one that brought that up. Ronald Hotboy says, "Thank you, everyone, for your service." Greg,
absolutely.
How do you feel about that, man? How do you feel about is the thanking you for your service? Do you feel it's overused? I like to do it, but then I feel like folks feel like it's overused or embarrasses them or something. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, it used to be embarrassing, but I get it. It's one of those, people don't understand the lifestyle. People don't understand what you've gone through, and they don't know what to do other than just to say, thank you for your service. And so I don't know if it's overused. I certainly don't want to get to a point where it's like the 60s and we're spitting on our soldiers.
Hell no, that should never be.
So, I do it, I take it. And, I don't know, for me, I had friends that never made it home and stuff like that. So, to me, I think about them as opposed to anything I ever did. I made it back in one piece, so I can't really complain about much.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, Tyven says he just wondered because you said weapon and not gun.
Oh.
So that was the tell.
When you're in the military, when you're in the Army in particular, if you use the word gun, you get smacked, right? Because
really?
A weapon is for fighting, a weapon is for war, a gun is for fun. Like that's the here in the military. So yeah, I use them interchangeably, and depending on who I'm talking to, I may use weapon on accident sometimes because it's still ingrained in me. But
okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, Paul K says service members should always be thanked. Joe San says I always appreciate it, but the fallen and spouses are overlooked quite often. True.
Correct. Yeah.
And let's see. Eric Hammond said I missed some stuff. The coyotes were making a ruckus. Kathleen Music Lover says hopefully hippie culture never comes back.
It seems to be making a comeback, doesn't it?
Look at Portland, Oregon.
Yeah,
we're talking about Oregon today.
Yeah,
Oregon and Seattle. It's
Seattle.
Yeah. OAC is all the way back. So there you go.
Before we came on, I noticed on the Truth About Guns they caught the guy in Washington State who was threatening to shoot sheriffs.
I did see that.
Yeah, that is on there. You're right.
I didn't know that's what that was about.
Yeah, there was. So for those that don't know, over in Washington State, they passed a really bad gun ballot initiative, and a bunch of the sheriffs came out after. A lot of the sheriffs in Washington State. If you don't know Washington State, if you go east of Seattle, it's pretty diehard conservative until maybe you get to Spokane. But a lot of the sheriffs said, we're not going to enforce this new gun control initiative that you guys just passed. Sorry, we're not going to do it. So there's a huge battle right now.
Yeah, good on them, man.
Yeah, a couple people making online threats. It looks like this scrawny.
This is a little kid too, right?
Yeah, he doesn't look
23 years old, but he's not like a big bulky 23-year-old. This has to be the scrawniest kid I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, little Harry Potter looking like mofo.
And he just like openly online, I'm going to start shooting sheriffs who don't support this. I'm like,
really?
Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Did not on his Facebook account. I-1639 is law. Sheriffs that are non-compliant will be shot by me.
Wow. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, he's going to have some issues. Some inmates are going to go hard against him, man.
I think we found the criminal who might be dumber than the actor guy. That's
Yeah, posting it up.
Yeah, absolutely. The pants says, but he didn't shoot the deputy. Okay.
Oh, God. That Bob Marley joke is bad.
Darth Soros says, I still eat in 5 minutes like I'm in boot camp.
You don't know anything about the military. So when you go to basic training, you get your food. If you even talk to the guy sitting next to you, they will come and take your food. And on top of that, you have literally 30 seconds to about a minute to shovel food in your mouth before you're out the door. So, I mean, it's
damn.
Yeah. At least that's how it was back in the day. There's a lot of snowflakes in the military now. So
yeah, we don't want to give the soldiers Agino or something like that, right? Acid reflux. Let's see. Victor Fowler says, thank veterans for their sacrifice. So, and Brian White said, it's good they caught this guy. This guy was going to get caught no matter what. You can't just go say whatever you want to on social media. You know?
Wow. He was Jaden H. Ledford. Let's see if his Facebook's still up.
Yeah. You see that Tim Nottam says, my forearms are bigger than that kid's neck.
He looks, yeah, totally.
That's not saying a whole lot, honestly. Because
he doesn't look like 23, but I guess. Yeah.
Doesn't look a day over like 15. Let's see if he's on.
It is what it is.
It's bad over here, man. On this side of the country, it's Seattle and Portland. It's bad. It's crazy stuff.
Well, that's good that those sheriffs are standing up, man. I mean, those are the kind of guys we need in law enforcement, standing up to that crap.
Well, look, here he is, Jaden Ledford, and he has a picture of Karl Marx and sunglasses as his
there.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's the power of the sheriff. That's literally what the sheriff is supposed to do is prevent that type of tyranny from coming into their counties or jurisdictions. And so there's a lot of sheriffs, and not only Washington State, but New Mexico. It was kind of a surprise too. New Mexico's got a lot of sheriffs saying they're going to refuse to implement gun control that's being imposed there as well. So it's good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. No, it's good to see that those guys are pushing back against it, and I think that's what people don't understand. Like, I guess the sheriffs or law enforcement close to big cities like Chicago, New York, LA, and stuff like that are anti-gun. They do want these things. They want to be the ones that are armed. They don't want anyone else armed. I get why you don't want criminals to be armed, but there's nothing you could do about that. They are, by the nature of it, criminals. You want the rest of the population to be armed because we can't depend on you, to be there when we need to be saved. So,
yeah, the sheriffs, here's the thing, going to the Capitol, and I'm sure it's the same way everywhere like it is in Idaho, and you talk to the Fraternal Order of Police or the sheriff's associations. So if you go to the organizations as a whole, they're usually pretty anti-gun because they represent a lot of the big cities, like you mentioned. But if you go to individual law enforcement officers, if you go to individual sheriffs, and you get outside of those agency heads, almost a lot of them are just like us. They don't care what you carry. They don't, they're worried about catching the bad guys. They don't care about the good people. But it's once you get into the big suburbs and stuff, it gets pretty nasty for anti-gun law enforcement and stuff. So,
yeah. Absolutely. By the way, I'm just checking the latest news. It looks like Jesse Smollett is right back on the set of Empire already.
Oh my God. And I guarantee the director is still standing strong with him.
Do you think if he was a white, straight, conservative male that he'd still have a job?
Hell no. And they would be asking to have him killed.
Yeah, look, you know what the thing is right now? I think that they're look, like we say all the time, we never watched this show. So who's actually supporting them? Who's actually watching this? They don't want to piss those people off, right? It's just like Benchmade and gun manufacturers don't want to piss us off as gun guys. They don't want to piss off their own audience. So they probably don't want to come down on him and then have them say, oh, you're just falling into the MAGA conspiracy.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing. So I think ultimately, like I said, there's really nothing that's going to be done about this. This guy's going to get away with doing this. And it's unfortunate, but it's the reality of how things work in America.
Yeah.
And the next time someone comes up and does this, these same people are going to jump right up and believe it as well. And they're never going to apologize for throwing everyone under the bus. Yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Greg.
No, I was just going to say they're not going to do anything. And for all we know, they'll dump a bunch of money into the judicial system and, try to potentially have a judge get his sentence a lot lower or whatever, if they're even going to actually do anything.
Yeah. I think the most we might see is that he might, someone's going to offer to pay off for the expenses, like you said, and then maybe they'll put him into some kind of rehab or something, but all this publicity is probably upped his profile and up the profile of the show. I would never watch this show. I don't think I would have watched it before. I'm never going to watch it now. But
yeah,
they're dealing directly with their own base. So I think ultimately they're just not going to do anything about it.
No, I'm not expecting any blowback for, from his people, on the set or the show or his base. I'm really curious to see what law enforcement will do with this. You didn't just, call 911 and claim something bad. I mean, you went through an entire process of paying people to stage this fake attack. You went all out. So any other regular person would have some pretty serious penalties for doing something like that. And is anything going to happen to this guy in there? I doubt it.
Okay. Yeah.
Just my opinion, I guess.
No, I'm with you on that. What do you think about that, Patrick?
No, I'm agreed. I'm in agreement there.
Yeah. So by the way, Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm just every time, like at least once a week, I have one of those moments where I'm like, God, our country is such a disaster. I need one of some reassurance somewhere to show me that it's not, because we're not. It's really not as bad as
it's
people want it to be. But
it's too bad. It's too bad because young people out there. This is a young guy doing this. There's young people looking at what he's doing, and they're going to believe this is how you get what you want out of life.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the reality is that this is how you get what you want out of life. You can completely fake things. Look, we were talking about Tekashi 6ix9ine. I don't know, Greg. I don't know if you know who that is. But that's this young rapper who's like a pretty hot rapper making a whole bunch of money. And this guy, before he was he was like a little nerdy kid. Then he started putting tattoos all over his face and coloring his hair and saying all kinds of crazy stuff.
With the Bloods.
Yeah. And pretending he was a gangster. And they were actually out there putting out hits on people and selling drugs. And in New York City, they had all kinds of illegal guns and stuff like that. You're not supposed to have in New York, strangely enough.
Sure.
And, there were like investigations on these people and all of that. And he got arrested. And actually he's turning evidence on the other guys. So he's going to get no charges.
No, he's still gonna catch some charges.
No, he's not getting any charges.
No way. I don't believe that for a second. He's still gonna get some time.
Yeah, all of that's been covered up in the Jussie Smollett thing. He's not getting any charges.
Wow.
So I know you don't believe that, but he's not getting any charges. In exchange for him testifying against these guys and all that kind of stuff, he's gonna get away with that. I'm not saying that 100%, but what I've seen, he's not getting charges.
Tekashi 6ix9ine must have an excellent lawyer. The word on the street is that if he cooperates, all charges will be dropped.
Yeah. And it's like, why, where kids are seeing this stuff and they really think, and you can't blame them for thinking that this is what they should do, but this is not what you should do. This is not how we're going to get a better world. This is not how we're going to make things better. Where people are just blaming everything. Oh, the gun violence. We got to just do something about the guns and stop that.
It has nothing to do with the tool in somebody's hand.
Yeah, it's the way of thinking that we have, right? It's the way that we're going about these things that you could be totally fake, completely lie. You can do all these horrible things, and you know what? You'll just get more famous out of it.
Yep.
In the end, so. That's horrible. Okay. Armament and Axes wants me to call Hill Climb, Ohio. This is not me, man. This is Armament and Axes. You have to take this up with him. He's asking me to call you a dork. So there you go. Yeah.
For what? Playing Apex?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah.
I will be a giant whale penis if you want. That's fine.
No, not you, Patrick.
Oh, I thought he was talking to me.
He's calling Hill Climb, Ohio a dork. So he's asking me to call Hill Climb, Ohio a dork who's out there listening to us. I'm not actually calling you a dork. I'm just repeating it. So you're going to have to take it up with him and, let you know. I usually don't get into these kind of requests, but I know you guys must know each other.
Turns out they don't. Kathleen Music Lover doesn't know what dork actually means, does she?
No. What does dork means? Giant whale penis?
Dork is a whale penis. That's the name for that's what that's what it's called. It's a dork.
Oh. Okay.
Am I the only one that knows this?
Greg, did you know this?
I don't remember that at all. So
yeah. Patrick, why do you know about giant whale penises?
It's like one of those things. It's like if you learn when you're a kid, like bitch is a female dog. You can say it as long as you're using it in that context.
I never learned about giant whale penis.
Yeah, it's a whale penis, dork.
I have apparently called a lot of people a whale penis.
Yeah.
Yeah, whale penis is just so much better. Blue Dog Jones says, Hank, you're missing the big picture, son. Jussie is facing federal charges potentially for using the mail. He's not out of trouble by a long shot. Also, civil lawsuits are coming. So there you go. And Len Holt says, Hank, stop acting like YouTube. Kathleen Music Lover says, only dorks know about dorks.
Here come the jokes. The jokes
is just degrading really quickly.
Darth Sora says, quit playing with your dork. Joe Guzman says, doofus. And Jafari 8 says, Dorcas. Dorcas baby dork.
12th century. Oh, where was that?
Yeah. Brian Wyatt, Dorcas Maximus. Yeah, you're gonna. So, what? Do you have a link to this now to prove?
Do I need a link to it?
Yeah,
I mean, I can pull it up on like Urban Dictionary.
Yeah, Kathleen wants to know how big is a whale penis?
You know, I've
as
never
big
looked.
as it wants to be.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. Whale trying to make more whales. Got to go up against a whale, so I'm guessing and now we're gonna get. I'm sorry about this, Greg. Jafari H says walruses have the second biggest weenus of all mammals.
Did you say weenus? Because that's your elbow skin.
Master Sergeant Poppy gave us a couple bucks. He says, "Little table for Hank. Little table.
Little table."
Yeah, listen. Throw that table in your Mustang and bring it over here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna get right on that.
Yeah, isn't your Mustang a hatchback or something?
No, it's not. I got rid of the convertible. We no longer have that.
Just toss it in there and bring it over. No, actually, maybe this weekend, because I'm gonna do the military. I don't know if you're going to the military vehicle thing to hang out with Walter.
We are probably not.
Okay. Yeah. So are you gonna be in town?
Possibly not. I don't know.
Oh, goodness gracious, man. Do you work for the CIA also? Possibly. Don't want to give out any secrets right now, right?
Because we're looking at a wedding thing on Sunday, so I don't know what we're
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you got to go look at wedding stuff. Okay. Don't be thinking about whale penises while you're out there.
That's pretty much always on my mind. Come on, Hank.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me try to bring this all back.
Somehow. I'm not sure how you're going to save this one.
I don't know. Yeah. Greg, you got to help us out here, man. In the minutes that we have left, how can they support you guys?
The website's back here, but secondamendmentactivist.com. And our big goal this year with the company is to do more of this, more reaching out to other people to get them on our side so we can get out of the echo chamber and try to get, I've done videos at universities. You can see on the YouTube channel where I go talk to people who are in the University of Wisconsin-Madison, for instance, and I actually can turn people by using a little bit of common sense and get them over to our side. And I think we just have to do a lot more of that with our family and friends and neighbors and get them to understand our side better without, when I hear somebody say, I want to ban AR-15s, and the first thing you want to do is start pounding on them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, you let all that stuff go, let all those talking points go, and then use some common sense, and you can actually talk them off of the ledge, the gun control ledge. But if you start attacking them right away, and that's the first
they're going to put up their armor. Yeah.
They put up a wall, they put up their armor. They're like, oh yeah, you are a crazy gun nut, So you've got to do better at making these arguments to all the other people we need to get onto our side.
Yeah. If you're talking to an anti-gunner and you want to diffuse them, just hit them with some trivia. Say something like, do you know sperm whales have the largest penises at 9 feet? Just say something like that. Yeah. And if they laugh, you're in.
Yeah.
And you're
Hey, so we're talking to you about guns now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, what?
Yeah, that's
Hey,
Brian.
trying to bring the show back.
I know, and then he just straight off.
Someone put that stat in the chat.
Straight off the deep end.
Yeah, Brian Wyatt put that stat in the chat. I was like, oh boy.
Kathleen said, take him out to the range. Absolutely.
That's the best thing to do.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think that's the thing. If someone's talking about guns, you can ask them, like, have you ever been shooting? No. Are you interested? Would you like to go shooting? Teach them about safety. Let them see that we're complete. The people who are causing most of the problems, I'm saying most, people causing most of the problems are criminals, and they don't even understand. They don't care about the laws. They don't, know what processes you have to go through to get things. They don't care about safety and all that kind of stuff. And they, you really can't deal with those people. All they understand, they're going to get guns.
Yeah.
Or anything else that they can get their hands on.
Yeah,
so
we have to expand our base of supporters, and we don't have to compromise to do it either. That's the beauty of it all. We don't have to compromise. I don't. Have you ever heard of Triggered Millennials, the group?
Yes, I have. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, those guys they have liberals and gay people and all sorts of stuff that are part of their group.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, I think that's fantastic. And they don't compromise. Right. And so a lot of people that will come over to our fold if we'll stop, you know, berating them and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Russ says, no kidding. A 5-minute screaming match will never change their mind. No.
No.
I got a girl, Hank, who was opposed to Teacher Carrie to admit that if there was a shooting at her university, this is in Wisconsin, and she knew that I had a gun, that she would actually hide behind me during the shooting. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, so by the end of it, she was like, okay, I get it now. So
yeah. Also, like when it comes to that whole thing, lots of people are putting it out there that we want every teacher to carry guns and all that kind of stuff. No.
The video I did in Wisconsin, that's what they thought. They thought that gun owners wanted to arm every teacher, no matter if they wanted to or not.
No.
No, we just want to, you know, anybody who's willing to be armed, they're trained, they're working with law enforcement on some sort of program. That's who we want to arm. And they were like, that's not what the media said. That's not what the news said. That's not what Michael Bloomberg said.
So, no, because they just like, they're going to force you to have guns. You're a teacher. They're going to smack you around and make you carry that gun if you don't. Yeah. No, why? Why would we do that?
And of course, they all thought that the gun was just going to be sitting on the teacher's desk waiting to take it out on a student at any moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, no.
Yeah.
You know, most of these schools have a lockbox in there, you know, with the teacher, it's a fingerprint lockbox. The teacher can reach their hand in, and they're the only ones that can get access, you know? And so when you explain that stuff, it's like, okay, but if the first thing I did was, well, you freaking moron, you want all your kids to die, you know, that's what's going to happen. I mean, if you do that kind of stuff, you lose.
Yeah,
you know,
instantly.
Yeah, absolutely. Crackbot gave us $5. He says, no compromising, so we don't have to act like the NRA.
There you go.
Thank you. Of course. And by the way, I obviously did get involved in some kind of domestic dispute here. Hill Climb, Ohio, JB says, well, my dad's a pansy. Laugh out loud. So that's between those two. So there you go. All right. So listen, we're going to wrap it up here. I do want to remind people before we go to Babyface P and Greg that we're not going to be here tomorrow. I repeat, not going to be here tomorrow. I know some people are still going to ask me that, so I'll post it up in some other places. But tomorrow I'm going to take the day off so that I can get some things done and then go hang out with Walter in where is it, Patrick? Like Mount Dora?
Mount Dora. Yep.
Yeah, military vehicle thing. It's in the flea market or next to the flea market in Mount Dora off I-75. You can look it up. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. No show, but you can come hang out with us on the weekend. Okay, Babyface, what do you have going on, my friend, and how can people keep in touch with you?
Baby_face_P on Instagram. I have some parts on order. Hank and I are going to build a watch coming up. We haven't really talked about it, but parts are coming in. We're going to build our own watch from parts, and we're going to do a video.
Yeah, this you are definitely going to be doing because yeah, it's one thing putting guns together, but little tiny ass watch parts.
We're not building a movement. We're not creating a watch. We're not making a watch. We're building one. So I bought a movement. I bought a case. I bought all the stuff. We're going to build one. So that'll be coming up.
We're just fitting stuff together then. I thought we were actually going to carve stuff out.
Yeah, you're going to get me a watchmaker's lathe and I'll learn to make my own thing. No. But yeah, we're going to have a video of that coming up whenever the parts come in. So
okay. Tuned. Very cool. Very cool. All right. Make sure you follow Babyface P. All right, Greg, how can the folks support you out there? How can they follow you on social media?
Yep, secondamendmentactivist.com. There'll be links to all the social media and stuff. But our big project is this Gun Control Hunter series this year. And, you know, any donations that we get, we always put to try and make that content better. And you give me enough money and I might actually find an actor who can act instead of having me do it. So
no, I think the people enjoy you doing it. But like I said, man, we do have a connection to get some Nigerians on board. You know, that might work out. And we will get those Nigerians more than $3,500. Just FYI to everyone out there. All right, so you guys make sure that you follow the Second Amendment activists. That's your .com, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and you're pretty much Second Amendment activists everywhere I see, except on Twitter, 2A activists.
Yeah.
There you go, Greg Pruett. Can people find you that way as well, Greg Pruett, with the name?
If you're looking for stuff in Idaho, probably.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. All right. I want to remind everyone to subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, ring the bell so you can get notified when we post up stuff. Thanks to everyone. Also, if you're on Instagram, go check out our IG page. It is WMMF Podcast. You guys know the military lingo. What is that? Whiskey Michael Franco podcast. I don't know. How would you say that, Greg?
Oh, for the acronym?
Yeah.
Whiskey Mike Foxtrot.
There you go.
Okay.
Gosh. Embarrass yourself.
Totally butchered it. You could tell I was never in the military. Okay, so yes, thanks a lot to our guests. Thanks everyone out there. We'll see you guys next Monday. We're out of here.
All right.
Peace.